e-racing series round 13 from Goodwood. This is lobby number 2, which we will be looking at now. Lobby number 1, we've already seen the race on that Dan won, Richie was second, and Pickles was third. So this is lobby number 2. We'll run through the drivers as per usual. With the Goodwood racing series, we just do the 1 lap qualifying shootout. So on pole position for this particular lobby, we have Barry in the Audi R8. Second, we've got Zoe in Audi R8. Third, we've got Reed, who is in a Porsche 911. Then Speedy Sparky in fourth with a Porsche 911. Then I think it's Dan with a Lamborghini Huracan. Sean with a Porsche. Simo with his Mercedes. Nathan with Ferrari. David with a BMW. Sean in an Audi. And Black Dragon in a Toyota. So we'll go back to the front. We'll get this race underway, and we'll go through things as we go. So Barry leading the way up to the green flag, or the Union Jack, I think is the case. It's Goodwood. So yeah, Union Jack. There we go. Away we go. So Barry leads them away. Zoe second, Reed third, Speedy fourth, Dan 5, Sean 6, Simo 7th, Nathan 8th. So we've got a few more in this lobby. How many have we got in this lobby? We got 11. So we had 7 in lobby 1 for this race, and we've got 11 in lobby 2. So there's Barry and Zoe in Audis. So again, same rules apply to these to this lobby. Goodwood is a track that it can't race at, so they have to use soft, medium and hard tyres, any order, at least 1 lap on each. So just let the race settle down. So Barry leading the way there, Zoe second. So it's really pleasing to see that we've got some new members along, and certain lobbies are now expanding, or certain race weekends are expanding into 2 lobbies, which is really good. So lobbies, the 2 lobbies are set up exactly the same. So we have exactly the same weather and everything. So Barry leads at the end of lap 1 onto lap 2. It's all closely bunched up still. So we're watching Zoe here. So it was Zoe who put the Goodwood e-racing series together, and is doing an absolutely fantastic job of running the series. Does all the points, all the admin, what tracks we're racing at, what cars, what series. Does an absolutely wonderful job. So let's just run through the tyres. So Barry's on medium, Zoe's on soft, so I would expect Zoe to get past. I was just going to say I'd expect Zoe to get past, and just as I say that, on cue, away she goes into the leads. We've got Reed up to second, so Barry's just lost a couple of places there, and Reed looks like he's just going past. So someone's gone off in the background. So who's gone off in the background there? Who's gone off? I think it was David with a big spin. I think everybody else is still going. Simo there in 10th. The Black Dragon in his Supra there, dropping off the back of the pack. So we've now got Reed leading. He's on soft. Zoe second on soft. Barry third on mediums. Speedy, who's doing Spike. It's not Spike, was it? It's It's the AO Racing Porsche. It's a replica of their livery. Oh, bit all over the place. So we've got Speedy on soft, Reed on soft, Sean on soft. So everyone seems to be going from soft. Sean's on soft, Nathan on soft, David on soft, Dan on soft, Simo's on hard. So he's the first of anyone that's not actually using soft. And then Black Dragon on hard as well. Okay, so Zoe's now up into first place, and looks like she's got a little bit of a gap to Barry, who is second. Actually, Barry's on mediums, so he's doing really well at the moment. So he's obviously, we will see how it all pans out. So nice little group going on here by looks of things. With Barry, Reed, Sparky and Sean. So 4 of them all pretty close together. So Zoe got a little bit of a lead. Who have we got? We've got Sean on the fastest lap at the moment. Oh, Sparky goes a little bit wide. So Sean's now got himself up to 4th and with the fastest lap as well of a 1:08. So I think in lobby 1, I think the fastest lap ended up being a 1:06.3. I think that was with Richie, if I seem to remember rightly. There's no reason why these, and as I say, when this race is done, we took all their lap times and all the laps and the times, and we added them together with lobby 1 to work out the final finishing order. So I think, so potentially if you win this lobby and you have a really good race, you could end up beating some of the guys that were in lobby 1. So this is, yes, you're racing, but it's all about doing the most amount of laps you can as quickly as you can in the hour. Because obviously you don't know what the other lobby done, and the 2 lobbies were run simultaneously, so you had no way of knowing what the other lobby was doing. So Sean, the 2 911s here, very colourful 911s running together. Barry just sat in front of them. So Zoe's just gone over the line, and then the next 3. So I would expect to see Zoe, Reed, Sean and Sparky all come into the pits before Barry. Sean trying to go around the outside of Reed. Sparky just dropped off slightly after he touched the grass on that last lap. Reed up on 2 wheels there. Oh, ran a little bit. Sean possibly down the inside here at Lavant. Yeah, nice move from Sean there. So now down to the Lavant straight and towards Woodcott and the chicane. And Reed looks like he's trying to come back on Sean. So we're already on lap 7 after 8 minutes. So there we've got Zoe in the lead. Probably get a couple more laps in before those tyres are completely shot. Barry's tyres, yeah, in much better condition than Zoe's. So Barry will obviously go longer. So they're both in Audi R8s. And then we've got this great battle between the three Porsche 911s here, between Sean, Reed and Sparky. Sean's now got himself up to third. Well, briefly, he's just trying to take a shortcut, and yeah. Oh, Sparky looking like he's going to get 2 positions. So yeah, Sparky's up to third now. Reed stays 4th. Sean's dropped back to 5th. So he made some ground and he's now lost it, Sean. Zoe through the chicane. Speedy's now got the fastest lap, a 1/10 of a second faster than Sean. On 108.5. So Zoe being nice and steady and consistent with her laps. So Zoe on to lap 10 now. Is it managing to get 10 laps out of these soft tyres? Doesn't look like anybody's been into the pits yet. Saying that, there we go. First pit visitor, by the looks of things, is Sean with the Audi. What tyres is Sean? So Sean's going out on the hards, so he's dropped behind Simo, who is already on the hard tyres. So Nathan there running 10th, and Black Dragon in 11th. Zoe still leading the way, coming across the line to complete lap 10 and go on to lap 11. I think someone's just come into the Sparky's come into the pits, and Reed has come into the pits. So they're both on the soft tyres. So let's see what they go for. So fuel going into Speedy's Porsche, and he's out on the hard. And what's Reed? Reed is out on the medium, and then we've got David coming out of the pits as well. He's come out on the hards. We've got Sean there running in 8th, Simo in 9th, Nathan 10th, and it looks like we've lost somebody from the lobby. I think we've lost Black Dragon. So there we go, Zoe's into the pits at the end of lap 11. So we've managed to do 11 laps on those soft tyres. Pacing herself and taking it steady. There we go, ways it goes Zoe, and out on the hards. So Barry now takes over the lead, and Barry is already on the medium tyre. probably got a couple of laps worth of fuel left. Zoe back out in second on the hards. Sean there running in third, got a 3-second penalty. So this is going to hurt Sean quite a lot. So he just manages to get himself up into third place. He put it on the grass last time and let Speedy and Reed past him. And now he's obviously got a 3-second penalty. I'm guessing that's for pit lane entry. He will have crossed the white entry line. So there we go. He's going to be serving his penalty, I think, just as they come onto the 11th straight. So it's at the unfortunately, it's the fastest part of the track. That's really going to hurt Sean. The penalty line's just come up. There we go. So he's now going to be serving his penalty. So Speedy and Reed go past him. David will do as well. So Sean, that's an expensive moment for Sean. It drops him from 3rd to 6th. And the other Sean's not that far behind him either. Simo running on 8th, not been in yet. But as we saw from Lobby 1, the Mercedes is quite a thirsty car. So it looks like Simo will be into the pits on this lap. Yep, I think Simo's in. There we go. Simo's in the pits. And he's also got quite significant damage on his car. But that's handy because the 30 seconds that the damage is there for also includes the pit stop. So he's eating away at damage time as well, which if he's lucky might just clear itself before he gets back out on track. So I don't know where he put that. There we go. Damage is cleared. So he's got away with that. Barry's into the pits now. So probably come out behind Zoe. We'll see what tyres he takes. So tyres are done. We won't know what he's on until he exits the pits. And away we go. And he's gone out on a set of hards. So Zoe and Barry are now on the same tyres. Reed has gone up into 2nd place. He's running on the mediums. So I would expect that gap to Zoe potentially to come down a little bit. See how far Zoe's in front. So Zoe's just coming up to 11 and Reed is just coming through St Mary's. So Zoe's got a little bit of a lead. So we've got Barry, Speedy and David. They're all fairly close together. Sean's now trying to make up ground. Speedy still with the fastest lap of a 1:08.5. So the two Seans are now starting to get close together. So there we can see Sean in 6th and Sean in 7th. At least they're driving different cars with different liveries, which makes life easy to identify which one. So this battle for, where are we really? For 2nd, yeah, 2nd through to Sean there in 7th. So 2nd to 7th are actually pretty close together. Zoe's built herself a nice little lead now. Dan's just coming across the start finish line just as in 8th, just as Sean is going through Fordwater and St Mary's. Dan and Nathan are pretty close together as well. So Nathan running in the Ferrari 458. Oh, bit of a mistake there from Dan. I suspect he probably got driver's right side tyres on the grass and it spun him across the track. So Nathan jumps up into 8th, Dan down to 9th. Simo running in 10th. Now Simo's gone on to the soft tyre, so I would expect him to start coming back towards Nathan and Dan. So we've got Zoe here coming up towards Lavant, and Reed just about to go through St Mary's. So we've got second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth and seventh still fairly close together, although there is now a gap between fifth and sixth. Speedy's dropped back, so Speedy's come out of that drop back. So Speedy must have made a mistake. So Barry there running third, David in fourth in the BMW. Sean's now got himself back up to fifth, and the other Sean to sixth, and Speedy's dropped back. So let's jump on board with Speedy for a lap of Goodwood. Sean just made a mistake, so Sean now drops back to seventh and Speedy back up to sixth. So Speedy still with the fastest lap of the race at 1:08.5. So we've got Sean in the Audi chasing Speedy. Nathan in eighth in the Ferrari. Simo here trying to catch Nathan. And Simo is in the Mercedes AMG. And then we've got Dan in the Lamborghini Huracan in 10th. So 18 laps in, we're all still just about on the lead lap. Here we are with Zoe, who's our current leader, just coming through Woodcote, and Dan, who is in 10th, has just gone through the chicane. So we're starting to spread out a little bit now. We've still looks like we've got two pairs of two next. We've got second and third together, and then fourth and fifth, and then we've got the battle from 6th to 8th, or 2nd to 8th, has spread themselves out a little bit. So we've got David up to second now in the BMW. Reed in third. Sean's got himself back up to fourth. Barry fifth. You just see him exit stage left and take to the runoff at Madgwick, which was turn 1. So did he keep going? Yes, he did. So Barry to 5th, Sean to 6th now, getting back up there. Speedy's dropped to 7th with the AO liveried, and they nicknamed this car Rexy. Sean there we are, back to Rexy in the Porsche 911. So it's a livery that team in IMSA GTD run called AO Racing, and they call this one Rexy. They also run an LMP2 car that's in a purple livery that they call Spike. So that's a replica of the Rexy livery. Oh dear, Speedy just lost it. Will he get going back in 7th place? Yeah, here comes Nath. So yeah, still ahead of Nath. So Speedy just needs to get his head down and keep turning those laps. He's the quickest, was still the quickest guy on the track with the 108. So we'll see if he can close up now. He's dropped quite a way off the back of that 6th place car now. So yeah, Speedy's just coming through Fordwater, just as Sean in the Audi in 6th place is coming onto the 11th straight. So he's got a decent amount of ground now to make up. He was up there battling earlier on. So Barry's now in 5th, not too far off of Sean. Barry's having a nice steady race. So chasing down Sean. To come through Fordwater and St Mary's. See some more pit stops going on. We've got Nathan and Speedy into the pits. Get rid of those hard tyres. So we're 26 minutes into this 1 hour race. And remember, they've got to use all 3 compound of slick tyre. So we've got Sean running in full. Oh, Sean's just made a mistake. That's going to cost him 4th place to Barry. Barry should pick it up. Yep, there we go. Down the start finish straight. So ahead we've got Reed now in 3rd. David in 2nd. Speedy there, just unfortunately has made another mistake and running in 10th. So Reed has bailed to the pit lane. As has Sean and Sean. So we've got 3 of the top 6 in the pits. Reed's just left the pits now in 4th. Barry's jumped up to 3rd while we're watching David. And then Zoe is still out there. Simo's into the pits now from 7th. So Zoe there just put a lap on Dan. Just going to put a lap on Simo while he's stationary in the pit lane. So Zoe having a nice steady run. David's into the pits now. Zoe's probably got this and one more, or the fuel lights just come on, so might just get through for another lap. That'll be handy because that will take it to the half-hour mark. Zoe bails the pit lane. Don't think Barry will be close enough to take the lead. Oh, possibly, maybe not. So Barry behind Simo here, coming through the chicane. So fuel's going into Zoe's car. So yeah, Barry takes over the lead. So there we go, Barry in the lead, Zoe into second, but Barry will be due a pit stop pretty soon. Fuel very low, although he's on the hard tyre. Zoe is back out on the medium, so Zoe has done all 3 compounds already, so we'll see how far Zoe can go on these mediums. I think the most anybody managed in lobby 1 wasn't so much on the tyres, but it was the fuel was about 20 minutes, I think. So if Zoe could do that and get 20 minutes out of fuel on this tank, then could possibly go for another set of soft tyres. We'll see. So I think 3 stops is the way to go with this. So Zoe has already caught that gap up to Barry. So we know Barry's going to have to be into the pits pretty soon, as fuel is incredibly low for him. So Zoe is now effectively a pit stop ahead of Barry. So nice position for Zoe to be in there. She won't be worrying about that. She'll be wanting to get to the front as quickly as possible. And as we say that, there we go. Zoe back to the front. So Dan's just come into the pits. Yeah, there we go. Barry into the pits now. David, there we get David into second. Is Sean close enough to take third? Yes, he is. So Sean to third, Barry to fourth. Where's Reed? Let's have a look where Reed is. Reed fourth. It's going to be really close. So yeah, Reed take fourth. Barry's dropped to fifth. There we go. But he's on the soft tyre now. And Sean 2 is in 6th, Nathan is 7th, Simo in 8th, Sparky sadly has dropped all the way down to 9th after being involved earlier on and unfortunately off again. but he still sits with the fastest lap of the race. So Sean's just coming up to put a lap on him, and Rexy moves aside and lets Sean go. So Zoe back to first, just coming up towards Ford Water and the end of sector 1, and he's on course for the fastest lap of the race. So we'll stay with Zoe, see if she manages to nick that fastest lap of the race. So the fastest lap of the race normally would carry a point, but seeing as we're running this as 2 lobbies, Zoe would need to beat a 106.3, I believe it was, that Richie achieved in lobby 1. So half a second down on Speedy's quickest so far. Through the chicane, see what lap time Zoe does. And there we go, across the line in a 109.7. So 1.2 off of Speedy's fastest there. But having said that, being very consistent and doing the best possible race that she can do. Through Ford Water and St Mary's, up to Lavant. So through the first part of Lavant, which is the tighter part, and then part 2 opens up as they go then down onto the Lavant straight and towards Woodcote. So fastest part of the course here, touching 166 miles an hour, and then we go through Woodcote, a double right-hander, and then through the chicane and over onto the start finish straight, and then just a little way up at the end of the pit lane is the start finish line. There it is, and that's a 109.6. So very, very consistent lapping from Zoe. In fact, the last 3 laps, 108.9, 109.7, 109.6. So nice and consistent laps there. So David is slightly quicker. We're already on to lap 31. So David's fastest laps are faster than Zoe's, but he's got more slower laps as well. So Zoe's built herself a nice little lead. So David just going through St Mary's, and just as Zoe goes onto the Lavant straight. So Sean's got himself up into 3rd, not that far off of the back of David. Barry is up to 4th. Reed has dropped back into 6th. So we've got the 2 Sean's running in 3rd and 5th now. Reed dropped back a bit into 6th. Nath in 7th. Simo in 8th. Dan in 9th, and Speedy in 10th. But still with the fastest lap to Speedy. So it just goes to prove that he can do the lap times. Just need to try somehow and get rid of those mistakes. So Zoe again, 109.8. So again, consistent lappery from Zoe. So we're on board now with David, running second through Madwicks. Along this straight through this kink and towards Fordwater, this tightening right hander, and then to St Mary's, this left hander, and then up to Lavant. So the first part of Lavant is tight, and then it opens up as the corner goes round onto the Lavant straight. It's coming through part 2 now. So David is the only one, I believe, that selected the BMW for this race. The choice of cars is free. You can use any GR3 that you wish, except the VGT cars. But you must run them to a maximum horsepower of 600, a maximum PP of 760, and a minimum weight of 1,300 kilos. And there we are, as a lap with David, and Sean's just coming into the pits. He's got those soft tyres. He's coming in with 20 minutes to go. There is a possibility, and we saw this from Lobby 1, that with a set of medium tyres on, you can do 20 minutes. So this will be interesting. What tyres has Sean gone out on? And he's got another, he's gone out on medium tyres, so that's good. If he can look after his fuel, he can potentially get to the end from here, but he's also managed to pick himself up another 3-second penalty. So is the other Sean close enough? Let's have a look. I think Sean in the Porsche will be okay. He appears to have a good few seconds over Sean in the Audi. So now we're on board Sean in the Audi. So we'll see if we see Sean in the Porsche ahead. So we can just about see Sean in the Porsche, just going into Woodcote. So he has obviously closed that gap down quite significantly on this lap, courtesy of Sean's 3-second pit lane penalty. So Sean in the Porsche, you'll probably see Sean in the Audi just come into shot in the background there. And then we've got Reed running in 6th. Looks like we've got Zoe catching some back markers here to put a lap on them, I think, or not. There's a few back markers in front of Zoe, so Zoe's on the medium tyre. So if Zoe can get another 8 minutes out of these tyres and or fuel, then we could see Zoe run a second set of soft tyres in this race. So Reed has now come into the pit, so he'll go down a lap. Zoe again, another 109. Nice and consistent lappery from Zoe, so hopefully this will put her in good stead overall. So Zoe leading the way from David, Barry, Sean, Reed, Nathan and Dan. So David's just come into the pits and out of the pits on lap 39, so he's going to get to the end of the race with his tank fuel and a set of mediums. So we've got 13 minutes to go. Zoe leading from David. So Zoe is coming towards Ford Water. And David is just coming out of Madwicks. So this is so Zoe's gone for another, just recently stopped, gone for another set of medium tyres to get to the end of the race. David is on mediums and a full tank, so they're pretty even. Sean is currently running third, mediums, but only on half a tank, so Sean may well have to stop again. Sound like tyre squeal behind Sean there. Don't know who's gone off. No, oh, possibly Dan there. It's in the same sort of area of the track. So Simo is running in 10th now. So I think everybody by now should have completed their pit stops and run all 3 compounds of soft tyre. So Zoe's just put a lap on Reed. So first and 6th, they were battling for first, both of them earlier on together. So Zoe taking it steady, trying not to make a mistake. Will she just let Reed go? Possibly, possibly not. So yep, there you go. She's let Reed go. Probably a smart move there from Zoe. Just sit in and follow Reed. Got a lead, doesn't need to risk anything. Then we've got David in second, just coming through Madgwicks now, and just about to put a lap on Nath. So Zoe just coming through St Mary's now, and David isn't actually really that far behind. He's just coming through Fordwater, so not a huge distance between the two of them, although I think David is looking at a mistake from Zoe in order to catch up. Sean running in third, coming through St Mary's. And the other Sean now in fourth. So the two Seans have made steady progress up through the field. Barry there running in fifth. So he's now back in front of Reed. So only the top five now are on the lead lap. Reed is going to have to make a pit stop for tyres fairly soon. So that will drop him out of Zoe's slipstream and take the pressure off of Zoe. Nath is running seventh. Speedy's got himself back up into eighth, but quite a distance behind Nath in seventh. Dan in ninth, and Simo in 10th. So Zoe goes across the line now to complete lap 44, lap 43, and move on to lap 44. We've got 52 minutes in the books. So just as a reminder, Dan won the race in Lobby 1. He managed 52 laps, as did Richie. Pickles, Mike and Matt done 51. Mike and Cez done 50. So Zoe will ideally be looking to get in and amongst those if she possibly can. So remember, at the end of this race we combined all the results. So this is just, it's kind of like a 1 hour qualifying session. So Reed is still sitting in there behind Zoe. So is David edging closer towards Zoe? Let's have a look. So Zoe done a 109.7 and David a 10. So David's taken half a second out of Zoe on that lap alone. Sean's into the pits. Will he keep third? Yeah, because the other Sean is only just now coming down the left and straight. So Sean will keep third. Barry in fifth there, just putting a lap on Speedy. So Speedy still got the fastest lap of the race of a 108.5. So Speedy running in ninth. and Simo in 10th. So Simo's got blue flags, but Simo got enough fight. Zoe's coming up behind Simo now to put another lap on Simo. Simo's just moved to one side and just let Zoe go. Nath is in the pits. So back to the front, there we go. Zoe a 109.5 on that lap, and David a 1090. So he's taken another second, another half a second out of Zoe on that lap. So he is definitely closing in on Zoe. Has he got enough time left to catch her? So yellow flags out there at St Mary's. David just got a little bit twitchy there. So we've got Simo and Reed just ahead of David. And then we've got Sean in 6th just behind. Sean running there in 3rd on a fresh set of soft tyres. So he's about, he's half a lap behind David in 2nd. So we've got a right gaggle of cars just going through Madwicks and on towards Fordwater. Let's have a look who we've got in that gaggle. So it is headed by Zoe, who is leading, and then second in that gaggle is Speedy, and Dan's in there as well. Simo is in there, David's in there. So and Sean. So there's a right gaggle there of about 4, 5, 6 cars. So and they're all in various different positions. But most importantly, in amongst them is 1st and 2nd. So 1st place with Zoe is leading the group of cars. Speedy there in 8th is just behind Zoe. And then it was, I think we saw Dan there. So Zoe's through Madwicks now and done a 110.2. And David is a 109.3, so David's nearly taken a second on that lap out of Zoe's lead. So we're down to 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go. So David is now on for fastest lap of the race. So he's a 10th up, but he's got Dan right in front. And not too far in front of Dan, we've got Speedy, and then we've got Zoe. So Dan's just made life easy there for David and just managed to spin out of his way. So David is closing in on Zoe, but is there enough time for David to catch Zoe? So Zoe is over the start-finish line now and does a 109.5. David a 109.6. So Zoe took back a 1/10 of a second there on that lap. So we've got this lap and probably one more. So that would put Zoe on 51 laps. and then it just will be down to how long it takes Zoe then to complete that 51st lap as to whether she would get where she would finish overall. So Zoe looks like she's going to do 51 laps. So Michael and Cez done 50 in lobby 1. So that would put potentially Zoe at worst in 6th. So there we go, Zoe over the line now to start, complete 50 and start 51. So that puts Zoe, say, at worst. We can see David in the background there. So we are now on the final lap. So first to finish, by looks of things, will be Reed in 6th, and then we've got Simo, who was out of fuel, in 10th. Who's going to be next across the line? There we go, and it will be Sean in 3rd. So he comes over the line to complete lap 50, and then we've got Nath over the line in 7th, and then Barry in 4th. Speedy, Zoe there we've got crossing the line to take the win, and Speedy in 8th, and then we've got here, Sean in 5th. So by the time we've added all these results together with lobby 1 and lobby 2, it gave Dan the overall win. He done 52 laps in 1 hour and 16 seconds. Richie overall in 2nd, 52 laps, 1 hour and 52 seconds. Pickles in 3rd, 51 laps, 1 hour and 4 seconds. Mike in 4th, 51 laps in 1 hour and 33 seconds. Matt was 5th in 51 laps, 1 hour and 34. Zoe finished 6th overall and won lobby 2, 51 laps in 1 hour and 52 seconds. David was 7th, 51 laps in 1 hour and 59 seconds. Sean was 8th. Sean, that was in lobby 2 with the Porsche. That was 50 laps in 1 hour and 29 seconds. Then Barry in lobby 2 was 9th overall with 50 laps in 1 hour and 44 seconds. Michael from lobby 1 was 10th with 50 laps in 1 hour and 48 seconds. Then Cez was 11th from lobby 1 with 50 laps in 1 hour and 49 seconds. Sean from lobby 2, that was Sean with the Audi, 50 laps in 1 hour, 1 minute and 0.12 seconds. Brian was 13th, 49, 1 hour and 7 seconds. Nathan was 14th, 49 laps in 1 hour and 39 seconds. Speedy was 14th, 49 laps, 1 hour and 52 seconds. Daniel was 16th, 49 laps, 1 hour and 1 minute 14. And Simo was 17th, 48 laps in 1 hour and 15 seconds. So that is the conclusion of round 13. Next is obviously round 14, and that takes us to the Nürburgring GP, where we will be running Group 1 cars. And I look forward to speaking to you all then, and see you soon. Cheers now. Bye-bye.